Hi everyone. In this short lecture, I'm going to go over the project one expectation. So I'm going to clarify um, what you need to do on this project. So as you can see, we have two parts. We have part one and part two. And they're very simple. You just need to pay attention to details. So the first one, part one. Grimaldi's Pizzeria needs a program to calculate the number of slices a pizza of any size can be divided into. The program should perform the following steps. So you get the input from the user, first name, last name separately, and then ask the user to come up with a random number that represents the diameter. Just the user would pick a random number. All right. So and then you're going to calculate the number of slices that may be taken from a pizza of that size. So there is a formula here. You don't have to worry. You just have to find the area of that circle pizza. And then you divide it by this number, 13.524. That's going to give you approximately the number. So it's very simple. So you have three steps. Get the input from the user. You're going to ask for three things. First name, last name, both of them are string, and then a diameter. It's up to you. You can put it in double or integer. I would say probably integer. And then you are going to calculate the area of the um, pizza. And then whatever you got, well, everybody should know the area, the formula, which is pi r squared. Now for pi, just choose 3, like an approximate number, 3.14, for example. So you're going to put pi r squared. So you're going to find the radius. We don't have the radius, by the way. We have only the diameter. So you have to divide it by 2. You square it. Either you're going to use the power function that we learned or just multiply it by itself. So let me switch to program just to show the steps. So I have three steps here. So the first step is to declare your variable and then get input. Declare variables and get input from the user. So you need string, you need first, you need last, name, and then you have the diameter. Okay? You declare the variable, and then you're going to prompt the user. So you're going to display a statement. So I'm just going to get you on the right path. So here, for example, enter the first name. Okay? And then you do the same thing. Just use CIN because you have only first name is only one word, so you don't have a. But if you want to use the get line, that's fine. And then you put the first. And then you repeat the same thing for the last name. Okay? Repeat the same thing for the last name. And then after that, you are going to prompt the user to enter the diameter. Remember, for the calculation, we need the radius. So once we get the diameter, we have to divide it by 2. Okay? Then you do the calculation. So you prompt this, you ask for the prompt the user, but you're gonna use, of course, again sin. And then after that, you are going to do the calculation. So you need an area variable. So you're going to go right here, and then you need area. So that area should be calculated as pi r square. Get the diameter. Okay. So I'm going to say here calculate the area by multiplying 3.14 by r square by radius square. Mhm. Okay, radius should be found by dividing the diameter by 2, right? So now everything is easy. Do the area, so calculate the area, okay? Once you finish the area, so area equal, and then you put the formula that we just mentioned. Once you do that, so I'm just going to put it as a comment. Once you calculate the area, then you're going to display the answer. You're going to put, for example, the number of slices is And then you are going to divide, as you can see here in the instruction. So it says display. Let me see here. Let me go down. So it says to calculate the number of slices, simply divide the area that you just found by this number 13.524. And then the answer is done. So this is project part one of the project one. Now what about part two? So you have to use the menu driven. Now we did cover the switch statements. This is the one you're going to be using here. It's very preferable. I mean, you don't have to, but you can use the F statement, but it is better here. It's more convenient. Why? Because you have options. Pick one, pick two, pick three, pick four. So every time we have like a menu kind of program, it's preferable. It's convenient to use the switch statement. So we have a video for that. So you may want to watch that video first, very quick. And also we have another video says tutorial on menu driven program switch statements. So you may want to find the same thing here. So what are you supposed to do here? So you need to start by typing this. So when you run the program, the user will see these options. So you have to put C out for each one of them. See out, ask user for the age and determine whether the user was born in an odd or an even year. Calculate the tax based on the user's input for items price and tax rate. So you can ask the user for the price of the item, the tax rate, and then you do the calculation. You add the tax to the item, and then you display the final cost. Number three, the same thing. You're going to ask or prompt the user to enter Celsius, do the formula to convert it to Fahrenheit, and then display the answer. And then finally, quit the program. And then you may want to add another choice in case they enter something invalid. You can tell them that it's not invalid. So as you can see right here, there's explanation. If the user enters 1, the program should ask the user. So this is exactly what I was talking about. If the user enters 2, then it's about the tax. If the user entered 3, then you need to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. And if it's 4, that's going to quit the program. All right. So again, so for this one, as I said, you need to start with a menu. Just display it because the user will not respond unless you put the question here, unless you prompt the user to do something. So the first thing here, as I mentioned, you have to put C out, and then you're going to put all this information that you have here. So it says ask the user for second, just yeah. So I'm just going to do it very quickly. So ask the user for their age and then determine if the year they were born is even or odd. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing. So the same thing is about the tax. And put number 2 because they have to pick one of these numbers. So you're going to put here now prompt the user or ask the user for the item price and the task rate, and then determine or calculate the tax base and calculate the tax, and then calculate the tax. And then number 3 is about converting. So number 3, convert temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay. So in every case, you have to prompt the user to get whatever information you need. And then see out. This is Number 4, which is quit the program. Okay. And then you're going to ask, okay, you need a variable for asking. You can call it choice. And then you're going to ask the user, say out after all of this. So you want to skip a line and then enter your choice. So of course, the user will enter the choice. You're going to save it in that variable. So this is where the switch statement comes into play. You're going to put switch, then which variable we're going to be testing. It's going to take different values. Of course, it is choice. To remove this dash from here, put it after. So you're going to put switch. So inside the switch, inside the parentheses, we put the variable that needs to change, that we need to test. Then make sure it's required that you put these braces. Now, for every case, you put case 1, and then here, this is when you ask. Ask the user for the information, display the information, and make sure you end with break. The second one, case 2. Okay, prompt the user, just like what we did with the other programs. When you prompt the user to enter information, you do the calculation and then you display the answer. The same thing. Okay, choice number 2, when you finish, break. Why break? Because you want the program to finish that specific case or that specific situation and then exit. Because if you don't put break, and we mentioned this in the video about switch statement, is going to keep going. Case 2, case 3 is not going to stop. So break will make sure that uh, that the program quit or exit the switch statement. So you can put a case 3, the same thing. This is about the temperature. You ask the user, enter the Celsius. So all these variables, they are going to be local because you are asking them locally. Okay? So you don't have to declare. I mean, if you want to declare them on top, that's fine. But if you declare them here, that's fine. So you have the choice. So 3, and then break. And then finally, break. Sorry, case 4, this is when you stop the program. And then make sure you put a break. And then we always end with default. Default means what about if they enter a number other than 1, 2, 3, 4? So you can just display invalid entry, for example. Invalid entry, please try again. Because you want to make sure that the program works all the time. Don't assume that the user will enter the expected answer. Okay, so that's pretty much how your part 2 should work. And if always, like if you have questions or you need clarifications, don't hesitate to let me know. All right, thank you for watching.